read a lot. Like, read a lot, but read the way that that you said to read. Don't read just for like getting the information in your head, but like read a lot. And if you don't like reading, then listen to an Audible book. Like, people have no. I think read a lot, and if you don't want to read, then you could listen to a podcast, or whatever. But in other words, consume media. See, media, I believe, changes identity more than anything else. Like media changes like how you think. If you want to become vegan, just go watch a couple of vegan documentaries. You'll probably become vegan because you'll be like, well, yeah, it changes your mind. Like when you consume media. That's why there's a lot of like talk about like parents letting their kids watch like, R-rated movies or whatever. It makes kids, it changes their mindset, like the way our minds operate. So consume a mass amount of media about what that is if you want to be a real estate investor, especially if you're new. And a quick tip for you guys, I read this study once that talked about the best way to remember something or like that you read. And a lot of people talk, you've probably heard the story before. It's like, we read 10%, we remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we remember most of what we teach. That's often what it said. But there's actually one higher than that. There's one thing that helps you retain information better than almost anything else that you read. And here's a tip. It's read as if you are going to teach. Like, as you're reading, assume you have to communicate this knowledge on a podcast later on that day. And if you have that mindset, like this study that was done, that was the number one best way to retain information, was to assume that later on you're going to have to teach it, which is one of the reasons I think that I read a lot and I remember almost everything I read, because I just subconsciously believe every single thing I read, I'm going to have to tell somebody later on a podcast or on a webinar or on a interview like this.